watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching. Watching Soulful Discussion.
All right, so hi, how you doing this morning?
I'm great.
All right, and so how did we just meet right now? How did our paths just cross?
I was just walking on the beach. I was looking for sea glass, and I ran across you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what did I approach you about?
I'm doing an interview on YouTube about reflexology.
Absolutely. So it was three things. It was feet, mental health, and reflexology, right?
Yes.
In terms of mental health, are there any topics you research and follow closely that you kind of are familiar with?
I follow just self-care mostly.
Okay.
How important it is to take time for yourself.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I follow right now.
Okay, so the mental health I'm going to discuss today has to do with anxiety and depression. So
okay.
Maybe some new information that you haven't heard before.
Sure.
What about reflexology? Are you familiar with that? Or?
Vaguely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll throw in some more information that may be a little bit more in depth. Okay, so let's jump into these questions. Okay, what's something you like that other people might find to be weird? I'm using the term weird for a reason. It doesn't necessarily have to be somewhere, just maybe a hobby you have that may be strange.
Not really strange, but like walking on the beach, like right now, taking time for myself, looking for heart rocks.
Absolutely, yeah. She's here looking at all these rocks here. She's checking out all these rocks here. So she has. You said you have a garden full of heart rocks, right?
Yeah, I have
That's
a whole
cool.
garden, and then I found some sea glass that I gave to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That was pretty cool.
That's kind of one of my hobbies that not everybody has, maybe.
Sweet. Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body, like body parts?
Oh yeah, of course.
Is that something you still deal with, or do you kind of have control of it?
I think we always will struggle with that. Always, all our life. It's just different stages.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you get older, you care less. Like right now, I care less than when I did when I was younger, but definitely there's always that struggle.
So, like you said, as you get older, it's a little bit easier. How do you cope with it now, as opposed to when you were younger? How do you cope with that?
I think it's all about how you talk to yourself, and I definitely work on talking to myself a little bit nicer than when I was younger.
Okay. Sweet.
You know?
If there was one thing you could change about yourself, and it doesn't have to be physical, what would it be?
That's a good question. I would say, I'm sure there's times I just cut me on the spot.
Yeah, you know what it is? Every time I ask this question to the women I interview, they say that I always think about these things when I'm alone, but then when I'm put on the spot, I can't think of anything right off the
it's
top.
not like one thing that I really hate about myself. It's just in the moment, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish this or that.
Yeah.
I would just say maybe the one thing I wish was when I was growing up, maybe better teeth care, because now that I'm older, I take better care of my teeth. But when I was younger, that's one thing that it makes me conscious. It's my teeth, but it's never too late to.
And we can say that pretty much about anything in our bodies, right?
Yeah, it's never too late. You can always, one thing maybe when you were younger you didn't do, maybe now you can take better care of.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's jump into these questions. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
I like my feet, yeah.
Okay. You like them? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever received any compliments before on your feet?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay. How would you feel if you did receive a compliment from somebody like that?
That would be flattering. I'd be grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I asked that question because there's different reactions to it. Some people are like, I'll get a little bit thrown off. Some people are just like, hey man, I appreciate the compliment. So I like to get those different
take whatever
insights.
I can get.
There it is. What would your thoughts be on if you were seeing someone who's into feet? Would that be something you're okay with, or
could be worse?
It could be worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to be into feet? Sure, go for it.
Okay.
Could be way worse.
Cool. How often do you get pedicures, things like that?
I would say not as often as I need to. Probably on my birthday for sure, once a year, or at least I try to do once every few months.
Do you do your own self-care?
I do my own self-care, but it's so nice to have somebody else do it for you. Yeah. I do my own, but it's just an actual good pedicure.
That's why I try to treat my girlfriend like that.
Yeah.
Because you get to feel pampered, right?
It is. It's totally different. You can do it yourself, but it's different when someone does it for you.
Way different.
So only probably a couple every few months.
Have you ever heard of medical pedicures before?
No.
All right, yeah, so they have a specialist, basically a podiatrist, who takes a look at your feet, checks your nails to make sure they're going in the correct direction, make sure your toes are in the correct alignment.
Yeah.
And they basically do all the work, make sure you don't have any dead skin and all that stuff. So it's not like the cosmetic ones, they're a little bit more in depth in terms of making sure your feet are healthy.
So you have concerns, you can go see them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they say you should go see that specialist maybe once every 3 months or so, just to kind of keep the uptake up on it.
All right.
Yeah. Absolutely. How do people like flip flops, open toe shoes, sandals, things like that?
Yeah, every day I'm here in San Clemente, so that's
Absolutely.
even in the winter.
Absolutely. How often do you go barefoot?
When I'm in my house.
Do you believe in like grounding, earthing? You've heard of that before?
I have heard of that. Yeah, actually I do that when I walk on the beach.
Yeah.
I always walk on the beach or like on the grass. I always touch the earth, you know.
Do you feel a different energy like when you're doing that, kind of like more relaxed?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So now, can we set your feet a little close?
Okay, they're all sandy, but
Oh, it's cool. Can you put them? Can you put them here so we can get a good look at them?
All right.
All right. And what size do you wear?
I wear a size 9.
Size. Can you put them both in the?
Sure.
Size 9. All right. How are you feeling right now? We're going through this process. I've asked you some questions. What's your thoughts and feelings right now?
I feel good. You know, sitting on the beach. And
You're just relaxing,
it's
right?
casual. It's a cool topic.
Absolutely. Thanks.
So,
Appreciate that.
yeah.
So let's start into mental health. I want to tell you about why I got started in this.
Okay.
So I was watching the guy's channel during quarantine, and he was talking about DBT. Are you familiar with that mental health term? Okay, so it's dialectical behavioral therapy. It's for people who suffer from anxiety and depression. People who like don't tend to like live in the moment and things, like they overthink situations.
Yeah.
So what therapists try to prescribe for these people, like let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers, they would have you go out and approach strangers like over and over again, right? So it's like exposure therapy, so you can get yourself
Face your fear.
exactly
Yeah.
like get yourself used to that uncomfortable feeling. And when you're in that moment and you feel uncomfortable, they want you to cope with it and do a self-assessment. Ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in this situation, right? And if there's not anything that's like a threat to your life or safety, do the opposite of what you're feeling. So if that feeling is telling you to like go away and withdraw,
Yeah.
approach and
Yeah.
like go through with it. What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that approach. That's kind of how I kind of live.
Try to live your life like
Yeah, fear is what is it? False evidence appearing real. So like once you approach your fear, then you realize it's not even a big deal.
that? Yeah. So I mean, sometimes like I said, it's about these people like tend to like think about all the negative things. They never think about positive outcomes. So that's why therapists try to work with them on like getting them to see like there's positives too. Like look at the positives. So.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the reflexology. Okay, so reflexology deals with the different pressure points we have in our hands and feet, and all these pressure points like correlate back to other parts of our body. So through like massage, acupuncture, acupressure, you can actually alleviate like stress and tension to like different parts of your body.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that? Like, is it something you've had done before or anything like that?
I haven't had that done, but I definitely believe in it. I've seen studies on it.
Yeah.
I definitely believe in acupuncture. I don't know too much about it, but
Yeah.
I know there are points in our body that are
Yeah.
more sensitive and they can, cure or help, ease. So
Yeah, if you deal with like migraines, there's a portion of your foot you can actually massage to like alleviate migraines.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
If you,
Your neck.
exactly, and it's actually called zone, so it's a different zone for every area. So yeah, that's something pretty good. So now, with that being said, how ticklish are you?
Not that ticklish, but like certain spots for sure.
Okay, could we test it on camera on your feet to see like how ticklish you are?
Sure, I'm not really ticklish on my foot.
Okay.
But,
We get you to extend your feet out here, and then we're gonna see how ticklish you are.
Okay.
And you said you don't think it's that much, right? What would you think it is on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like maybe like a
3 or 4?
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna tickle this one first, and you tell me like where it's more sensitive at. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, and. Not at all. Do you feel any?
Right, maybe in the middle.
Right here, the
maybe,
arch?
Yeah, the arch. And
Not so much. Oh, right at the top. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think it is like in terms of that? On that
There
foot?
must be something in there, like some kind of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, exactly. Let's try this one now. Let's see what
gonna
the
be
difference
different?
is.
Okay.
All right. So now 1, 2, 3, and. Is this one more or less? Less? It's the same? Really? All right. Now I want you to try something for me. Leave them here. We're gonna do 2 more things. Okay, so first I want you to wiggle your toes, and I want you to tell me if it's more or less. It should be less. Let's see.
Okay.
So let's try here first. Wiggle the toes here. Is it less?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Do you know why?
So I'm busy thinking about muscles.
Well, it's because your foot's in motion, so because it's in motion, it can't pick up on the sensation of that. So yeah, that's pretty much right. Now let me get you to leave your feet here, and we're gonna do a couple of exercises to test if you have a ligament or bone damage. Okay. All right. So put it closer together. All right. So now first, what I want you to do. Bend your toes over, make a fist. Do you feel any pain or discomfort from that? All right, relax. All right, spread your toes. Tell me if there's any pain or discomfort. Is it easy to do?
Yeah.
Relax. Okay, and then just wiggle your toes and then tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. Nothing? Okay, cool. All right, so I have everybody do that because I interviewed a lady before. she bent her toes over and she felt a sharp pain across her big toe.
Oh, okay.
She had actually stumped her toe the week before, and it was signs of like possible broken bone or something like that. So I have everybody do that just to see like if there's anything there. So let's get to the end of the interview. We're right about at 10 minutes.
Okay.
In terms of my approach to you, was it good? Was it bad? What did you think about it?
I thought it was good.
Okay.
You know, you had like a good vibe about you, so yeah.
Thanks, appreciate that. In terms of the interview, start to finish, beginning to end, could you see how everything was going in the line? Did it make sense to you? Or did you learn anything new?
It went in line. I did learn some stuff new about the DBR.
DBT.
Or DBT. Yeah, so that makes sense. I have some friends that I know deal with that,
Cool.
and I try to help them, but it's something that's an issue.
Yeah,
It's a big issue.
Right? Absolutely. And the last thing I have over to do in the interview with me, in terms of the mental health aspect, right? Maybe a life lesson you learned or some wise words of wisdom you could say to my channel that could be helpful to me.
Wow. Well, this is just my philosophy. What I go by is I just think it's just keep moving, like no matter what, whatever life throws at you, hurdles, just dodge and weave, just keep moving. And salt water cures everything. Like ocean, tears, laughter, sweat. That cures everything. Whatever you're going through, you pick one of those salt waters and you're gonna feel so much better. Laugh, you cry, it's just healing.
That's deep. I like that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time to do the interview with us. And we hope that you have a great one, okay?
All right.
All right.